No, I don't want to be put to sleep.
This wasn't a sedative, Mrs. Capwell. It's not going to put you to sleep. It's just going to calm you down.
You promise? I want to be aware of what's going on. Cece?
Gina, I'm here. Everything's going to be all right.
We're there to help you, Gina, all right? You have nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, please. And please, don't let them take me to an institution. I don't want that. Don't put me in an institution.
Darling, you're going to have to trust me to know what's best for you. Now, you need medical care, and we're going to see that you get it.
Wiley is here to help you now, Mrs. Capwell.
Help me what?
Get dressed. We'll be right back.
Already I have a keeper. Mrs. Wiley, I'm terribly thirsty. Could you run downstairs to the kitchen and ask Rosa to get me something cold to drink? An iced tea would be very nice. My mouth is very dry. You don't have to worry. I won't budge from here. Mason, is that you?
Gina, you're up early.
Mason, you have to help me, please. I can't explain now. I have no time. But Cece wants to have me committed. Can you come over here and help me? I don't have anyone else to turn to. Please, Mason, you're all I have left. Please.
Hello?
Daddy? It's Eden. I'm calling you from the police station.
Police station?
Mom is being booked for murder.
Oh, no. Cruz did it. He actually did it?
I begged him not to, Daddy. But that's not important now. We got to do something to help her.
All right, honey, don't worry. I'll get Jack Lee on the case right away. Now, you go back to Sophia and stay with her. Tell her that we're doing everything we possibly can. We'll have her out by noon.
I respect your views, Inspector, but I think you should know I intend to push for a much tougher charge at the arraignment than you're suggesting.
How much tougher?
I'm going for murder one.
Oh, are you kidding? At the most, this was involuntary manslaughter. And there are enough extenuating circumstances to warrant asking for clemency.
This is clear-cut murder one.
Tony, murder one demands premeditation. Now, give me a motive.
This is obviously the result of a long-standing, much-publicized Capwell-Lockridge feud. Now, I think Cece and Sophia conspired to kill Lionel Lockridge, then trumped up Cece's story to get Sophia acquitted. Now, she was in disguise, right? She came into the house via the tunnels that connect the two houses. She'd already sent a message to Lionel Lockridge, which just happened to be delivered to Channing Jr. by mistake. She came in the night before to check out the lay of the land, and she happened to come across the gun. Now, I don't care what Cece is claiming. I think Sophia loaded the gun the night before. Premeditated, cold-blooded murder. And if I can find any proof to prove that CC was involved in this, I'm going to haul him in, too, as an accessory to murder. In the meantime, I think you're doing a fine job for us. You know, there might even be a little promotion in this for you. Nice work, Inspector.
Well, if it really is an addiction, then why can't she be treated here at home instead of packing her off to an institution?
Because it's too hard for us to handle. She needs constant medical supervision and a very special treatment.
Well, then hire nurses around the clock if necessary. Money can't be an object.
Forgive me, but I don't see where this is any of your concern. Besides, I don't even know what you're doing here.
Gina called me and asked me to come over as soon as I could. She was very frightened.
Oh, that's ridiculous. She has nothing to be frightened of. But I'll tell you what frightens me. The idea of Gina being with Brandon before she can get over this thing.
Well, I think you're making a mistake to send her away. She needs you right now.
I need a little peace and quiet. Do you have any idea what I'm going through? A wife on a drug withdrawal, screaming and clawing at me? What kind of effect do you think this has on Ted and Eden and Kelly?
Well, I don't know. Well, let's Ted, what do you think? You think it's hopeless?
Look, Gina was in the tunnel with Hank Judson when the explosion happened. I was with them. And, well...
That's common knowledge.
Yeah,
Ted,
I know, but...
She was having some problems, but she told me she had stopped taking those pills. Anyhow, I found out now that she is. Dad, I don't think she's hopeless, but I do think she needs some professional help.
I don't think we need to take a consensus about this, Mason. I've already made the decision.
Nonetheless, she called and asked me for help, so I'm going to go upstairs and have a talk with her.
You're going to need my permission, and I'm denying it. Now, get out of this house.
Not a chance. You can call your security guards if you want to, but that's the only way you'll get rid of me. And not without a fight.
Doctor or no doctor, you're talking about the guy who tried to kill me to keep from finding out the truth about your baby.
But Dr. Renfro, come on.
Amy, listen to me. The man's been leading you on. He lied to you and he lied to me. Now, if there's anything at all that you're hiding, give us some answers, some clues.
I'm not. Why would I?
I don't know. I just hope you're telling me the truth, because, baby, I can't make any sense out of your not knowing who the father is.
I can't either.
Okay. I have to go. I'm going to find Renfro now. Wish me luck.
You know I do. Please be careful.
This Renfro is the one you should be worried about.
You were told to get rid of Brick Wallace. Now he is out, he is loose, and he is very much alive. Things got messed up.
No kidding.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. At 11:10, I'm going to go to Amy Perkins' house to see her. At precisely 11:15, you are going to call there. You'll make the call from my room. Do you have a pencil?
Yeah, right here.
Then write this down. This is what you're to say.
Hi. From what I overheard, the DA was congratulating you on a job well done.
Well, then apparently you missed the part where I tried to get him to reduce the charge.
What is the charge?
It could be first-degree murder.
First-degree murder? Why? What kind of a sentence does that have?
Well, were you to be convicted, which I can't imagine happening, it could carry 25 years to life imprisonment.
I suppose we have you to thank for this. I hope you're happy. You're satisfied.
Eden, I didn't have a choice.
Of course not. Something that goes a little bit bigger than this, right? It's this mindless, slavish devotion to your work and duty. Well, I'll tell you something. I thank God that I didn't marry you. And I thank God that I'm not going to. Mama, it's going to be okay. I talked to Daddy, and he's going to get a hold of Jack Lee. And I'll check up on it because he should be here by now, okay?
Okay.
You need the best help available, and we're going to get it for you.
All right, honey.
Sophia, I'm so sorry. I want you to know I didn't want this. I just want you to understand.
Mama, don't listen to him. We are your family, and you need to rely on us. All right?
Mrs. Wiley, my son would like to talk to Mrs. Capwell in private.
Certainly.
Don't be too long.
Thanks for the dispensation.
You see, they're already treating me like a prisoner.
Obviously, we'll have to talk fast.
Well, I don't know what to do. Will you look at me? Nothing like this ever would have happened to Cece. He has too much willpower, too much determination.
I don't care what you become addicted to, Gina. You're still a better parent to Brandon than he ever was to any of us.
Brandon, my poor baby. He deserves a lot better than me.
Gina, you got to try to be positive about this. Now, getting you off drugs is what we have to concentrate on. You have to think of the baby you're carrying.
Yeah, I know, and I'll be so relieved. No matter how hard it is, it'll be worth it. I just don't understand how It happened so quickly.
Well, it happens faster for some people. They have addictive personalities. Now, Gina, tell me truthfully. If Dad isn't, or may not be, the father of the baby, then who is?
Oh, I'm so scared. After the baby's born, what if Cece finds out the blood type isn't right?
First,
what am I going to do?
First, tell me who the father may be, Gina.
Hank.
You having an affair with Hank Judson?
No, God, no. He forced himself on me one time, and now he's dead, and I'm glad he's dead. But, Mason, it's been so awful for such a long time.
You're going to be all right, Gina. Once this is behind you, things are going to look a lot better.
I don't know if it's ever going to be behind me, Mason, but what's it like to be institutionalized?
It's not as bad as you think. Once you agree to commit yourself...
I won't agree. I never will agree.
Well, Dad and the doctor can do it without your consent, Gina.
I don't want to think about it. Tell me about Sophia. Is she going to jail?
I don't know yet.
Well, then I'm not going to be sent away either. I'm not going anywhere until I know that she's locked up. Mason, are you sure Cece could have me committed against my will?
Yeah, he can, Gina.
Well, that's awful. And it's not fair. Isn't there something you can do? Is there some way you can stop him from putting me into an institution?
At this point, I don't know if there is or not.
Mason, help me. Isn't there some way you can help me? I don't have anyone else but you. You're all I have left.
Yes, I'm sure. There is no alternative but to commit her at this point. We simply can't care for her here at home. All right, thank you for your help. Santana, I didn't hear you come in.
Sorry, Sophie, I didn't mean to startle you. Who were you talking about just now?
I don't want to go into that.
I'm not trying to pry. It just sounded like someone was sick, and I'm concerned.
Gina's sick, and she needs medical attention. I was just making arrangements for a sanitarium.
A sanitarium? Why?
Because I said she needs help, and that's all I simply want to say about it.
And Brandon?
Brandon's going to stay here with us. The decision's been made. It's been taken out of our hands.
Sophia, we're going to have you out of here right away.
Oh, Jack, thank you. Chris wanted to ask me some questions, but he was waiting until I had counsel present.
Which is generous of him.
Eden, why don't you go post bail, and we'll be along as soon as we're through here. All right?
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Lee, I just wanted to ask Sophia a couple of questions. Let's go back again, if we may, to the day Channing was killed. Why were you wearing a disguise that day?
Well, obviously, because I didn't want anyone to recognize me. I wanted to make sure my family would accept me. You see, they all thought I was dead. I didn't want to just walk in like that. It'd be a terrible shock for them.
Well, then why come at all?
Because I wanted to see them, Cruz, and be with them. I also wanted to get revenge against Lionel for what he'd done to me.
Yeah, but you wouldn't... would you call that a premeditated act?
Don't answer that, Sophia.
No, don't misunderstand me. Let me ask you about your precise feelings at the moment you sat down in the study chair.
Don't answer that either. Is that the way these questions are going to go, Inspector?
Look, I'm trying to get these answers so I can help her.
Yes, well, thank you very much, but that kind of help we do not need. I think you're just trying to nail her with first-degree murder, and you can forget about it.
I'm not
going to cooperate with you.
trying to nail her with anything, Mr. Lee. I'm trying to help her.
Even so, my advice to you, Sophia, is do not answer any more questions, which means, in effect, that the interview's over. Shall we?
Well, she needs help. There's no question about it.
Exactly as I told you.
Nevertheless, I wanted to see for myself.
Yeah, it looks like some drug rehabilitation program is the only thing that's going to help her out, Mason. That's what Dad wants to do.
Yeah, I've seen the torn bodies being carried off in the sunset after Dad's help.
That must be the attorney. I was beginning to worry. Did you bring the necessary papers?
Everything we'll need. What, papers are those, Dad?
Papers to commit Gina.
You mind if I look those over?
Actually, I do mind.
Even so.
They're perfectly legal. I just want Gina to sign them.
I'm sure they are. Well, now, wait a minute. These would transfer control of Brandon's trust fund over to you.
Yes, I thought it best while Gina was being committed. Actually, I've been wanting to do that for some time.
Well, you're a little late for that, Dad. I'm already the administrator of Brandon's trust fund.
You mean, what are you talking about?
I had Gina sign it over to me.
Damn it, Mason, I knew you'd come up with some kind of a trick like this.
Well, I'm sorry this has upset you so much, Dad. You know, the last thing in the world I want to do is displease you.
Oh, save me your sarcasm. I want to know how you managed this.
I simply convinced Gina that I'd be the best one to take charge of Brandon's trust fund.
What you mean is that you took advantage of her during this drug withdrawal while her mind has been clouded. What's the official term? Undue influence?
Not at all, Dad. Like the Tower of Pisa, I may have certain inclinations, but I always remain upright. I'd never take unfair advantage of anyone.
Oh, come off of it, Mason. Gina hates you. She would never have gone along with something like this unless you tricked her or forced her into it. In fact, I think the reason you're fighting so hard to keep her out of a sanitarium is so you'll keep her hooked on these drugs so that she won't change her mind.
You see how impossible he is to deal with? There are none so blind as those who only see what they want to.
I'll tell you one thing. You're not going to get away with it.
Well, unfortunately for you, Dan, I've already gotten away with quite a bit of it.
We're home.
Sophia,
Yeah.
are you all right?
Yeah, well, I am now. Hey, darling.
Mom, how you doing?
Oh. Good to see you. Hello, Santana.
I'm so glad you're back.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting her out. What happens now?
Well, she's out on bail until the arraignment.
When will that be?
That depends on how quickly the DA can come up with a date for a court hearing. I think I better warn you, though, Cece. I believe they're going to go for a charge of first-degree murder. If they get it, that means she'll be bound over for trial. There'll be a whole new bail situation. I don't know what it'll be.
What are our chances?
Oh, I'm very confident. We'll clear up the charge. We'll get her off. Listen, you suppose I could use a phone?
Of course. Over there. Help yourself.
Thanks. It's me. Listen, I just want to remind you to place that telephone call we discussed earlier in exactly 10 minutes.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Capitol House, but I'm leaving right now. Don't worry, I'll be there. I'm counting on you, Parker.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. 10 minutes it is.
Thanks.
Is it really that bad that she has to go to the hospital?
I'm afraid so, honey. Even Mason will agree to that.
Terribly sorry, everybody. I'm afraid I have to leave. Pressing business.
Thanks for dropping everything and taking care of this.
Well, we still have a lot of work to do, but I'll call you very soon. We'll set up a strategy meeting.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate everything you've done.
I'll walk you out.
Don't be discouraged, Sophia. We're going to win this one. Goodbye, everyone.
We will. We will win this.
Thank you, Cece.
Baby Perkins, Dr. Renfro. Who is it?
It's Jack Lee. Amy, is that you?
Yes, just a second. Hi.
I just wanted to drop by and see how you were doing. Are you all right? Is there anything at all I can do for you?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. It's really nice of you to come by. Should I just come in?
Sure. Well, you're looking very well.
I am, yeah. Thank you. Well, how are you managing at the office without me?
Listen, we're getting by, but I will be very glad when you come back. You sure you're all right?
No, I'm fine, really. Thank you. It's nice of you to come by. I've said that already. I'm sorry. I'm just not quite as together as I'd like to be. Just good days and bad days. Excuse me. Hello?
Amy Perkins? Yes. Don't talk, just listen. You understand?
Who is it?
Listen, I said. You're to stop trying to find your baby.
Now, if you don't, you're going to be in deep trouble. Do you understand?
How is my baby?
Oh, he's fine. For the moment. He's alive. But he won't be if you go to the police with your problem.
You're to keep quiet about the whole incident if you want to keep him alive. You understand me?
Don't try to find him. Not by yourself, and not through anyone else. Now, if you do, you'll be very sorry.
Me? What is it? Amy, what's happened? What was that all about?
My God, they've got my baby. Somebody's got my baby.
Oh, that's your baby. Who has your baby? Listen, you gotta trust me. Tell me what's going on. Let me help you.
Maybe I could. Rick and I do need somebody. I don't know who to turn to.
All right. Now we'll just slow down, all right?
Okay.
Sit down on the couch. We'll start from the very beginning.
All right. I had moved to San Francisco. And I was working at
Hi.
I can't ask you in right now. Sure you understand.
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to talk to you and see how we're gonna...
I don't think we have anything to talk about. Unless you're here on official police business, I think it'd be better if you'd leave.
Eden, please don't. We have to talk to each other. We gotta work our way through this. We can't just let it destroy what we've got.
I think you should have thought about that in the beginning.
I had to do my job.
Let me just ask you one thing. Would you have done this to your mother? Would you have turned in Carmen if she were guilty of the same crime?
I don't know what I would have done.
You would have turned in your badge. But not for my mother.
Baby, I love you more than anything else in the world. Now, I realize you're as confused as I am right now.
I'm not confused anymore. I know exactly where we stand. You do not love or understand me the way I thought you did. You can't.
Look, we're different people. I understand that we have a different way of seeing this. But you and I together, we can overcome anything.
Except this. You're not the man I thought you were. Because of you. Because of your insistence on moral duty. My mother's gonna go to jail. Not for a crime, but for an accident. For something she didn't mean to do. And if that happens, I will never forgive you.
Eden, don't.
This is all so hard to believe.
Every word of it is true, I swear.
No, I don't doubt that for a minute. I don't understand about the baby's true father. That part has me baffled.
How do you think I feel? I give you my word. The only man I had ever slept with was Jeff Barber. And yet he has been positively declared sterile. Brick said he was about to tell him who the real father was when he was killed. But how could he have known?
You're right. It's completely baffling.
And that's not all. A nurse at the hospital told me that she didn't believe my baby was ever ill, much less dying. I don't know, she was afraid of something or someone. And now Brick was almost killed. And in this phone call, it's...
Well, this is going to take some investigation. I'll tell you what, do you remember possibly the name of the nurse at the clinic who told you those things?
Yes, Bailey, Nurse Bailey. Why?
Well, I just think it might be a good idea for me to check with her.
Okay. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, no.
I just hope Brick isn't too angry that I've told you.
Why should he be angry?
He doesn't think I should trust anyone.
Well, you can certainly trust me, Amy. Look, I hope it goes without saying that there will not be any charge for anything I do, any time I spend trying to help you solve this incredible mystery.
I can't ever think of how to thank you.
No.
I didn't know who to turn to. I just want my baby back.
Of course you want your baby back. I find it insufferable this kind of thing can happen in this country. As for Dr. Renfro, I'm completely astonished. Do you realize that we have worked together on the same medical ethics board for years? We have known each other for years. I find it so hard to believe he could be involved with it. Do you mind if I use your phone for a minute? I think I should start looking into this right away. I've never heard of such a bizarre set of circumstances in my life. Yes, it's Jack Lee.
Oh, not the Jack Lee. Did it work?
I want you to see if you can track down Dr. Renfro. Tell him I have something very important to talk to him about.
I take it you are still at the girl's house.
That's right.
I just got word that the baby's weight is up to 10 pounds, 5 ounces already.
Good. You get right on it. I'll be in touch. All right. That starts things rolling. Now I'm going to pay a few personal calls and see what I can find out.
Oh, I can't think of how to repay you.
No, Amy, please. I just wish you had gotten a hold of me earlier. Now, with the threat against the baby's life, we do not have a moment to waste.
Great.
I'll get in touch with you as soon as I can.
Thank you again.
What it boils down to, Gina, is that there's nothing we can do about it. Doctor has signed a document stating that you're not in control of your faculties at this point and placing you in Dad's custody. That means he can do with you pretty much as he pleases, and at the moment, he seems determined to have you committed.
How can you do this to me?
In spite of the way Mason makes it sound, Gina, I'm only concerned with your welfare. I honestly believe that this is the best solution. Indeed, the only solution. Doctor, may I have the commitment papers?
Right away.
I'm going to sign you into a sanitarium, Gina. A very lovely, private sanitarium.
You mean you're going to have them take me away now?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I did what I could.
No, I have to see Brandon first. I have to say goodbye to him and explain all of this.
All right, I'll have Rosa bring him in.
And I want to see him alone.
Of course, I understand. Come along, Doctor. Mason.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Thankfully.
Right, Eden? Huh? Come on.
How'd it go?
Well, it's been very difficult for everyone. Gina wanted to be alone with Brandon for a moment.
Poor Gina, what she must be going through. And you, too. It must be very hard on you. I'm sorry.
It has been painful, Sophia, but it is going to be best in the long run. It's the only way she's going to break this.
Well, not necessarily. You could always chain her up in the attic like something out of a Bronte novel. That sometimes cures them in a year or two.
Mason, you have caused enough trouble for today. Please don't make things worse.
Don't you feel a little like Henry VIII, Dad, with one wife on your arm and another on her way to the tower?
Mason, don't. That's a terrible thing to say. Mason, aren't you happy to have Sophia back?
Yes, of course I'm happy. I just wish you'd let me represent you instead of Jack Lee.
I know. That was not my decision. It was your father's. I had nothing to do with it.
Well, Jack Lee's a good attorney, and he's famous.
Yeah, I should be famous by now, too, but Dad slowed me down a bit.
I have made some mistakes with you, Mason. I've made mistakes with all my children. But I hope to rectify that with my memorial to Channing.
Your what? Memorial?
I haven't told anyone except Jack Lee and Sophia. But it's a project that I'm going to have great pride in funding.
What is it? Your father's building a university in Channing's name.
What? Channing Capwell Jr. University. Dedicated to upholding the values that Channing believed in. It'll be a great monument to his name and his aspirations.
Sweetheart, Mommy has to go away for a little while.
You do? Why?
Well, do you remember the time you swallowed all those pills and you had to go to the hospital because they made you so sick?
Sure.
Well, something like that has happened to me, and, well, I don't feel very well. So I'm going to have to go into the hospital for a little while.
When will you be back?
Oh, soon. Really, very soon.
I'll miss you, Mommy. Can I come and visit you?
Well, I'm not so sure, sweetheart. I don't think at first you can't, no.
Is something going to happen to you?
No, of course not. Of course not. That's why I have to go to the hospital so nothing does happen to me. Now, I want you to, listen to Uncle Cece and to Rosa. And Brandon, please, sweetheart, don't forget me.
I won't. I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, sweetheart. Well, I think you better go now, because I have to get ready. Oh, Brandon, wait a minute. There's something else I wanted to tell you. Now, I want you to stay away from Santana.
Santana?
Well, yes, you see, sometimes she can be very, very mean, and she is not the friend We thought she was. Now you obey me, you understand?
I guess.
Brick, I'm glad you're here.
What's going on?
I had the most terrible phone call, honey. It was a man. He called and he said that if we didn't stop looking for the baby, something awful will happen to him. He said he's all right, but he said that they would kill him if we went to the police or we tried to find him.
When did all this happen?
Just a few minutes ago. It was terrible. I told Amy that I'd get to the bottom of this. I'd use the full force of my law practice and my reputation to help both of you.
No.
I beg your pardon.
We don't want your help.
Rick, Mr. Lee has been nice enough to offer to help us without any charges. I told him we'd be very grateful.
But we're not, and we don't need him.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't quite understand.
Well, then I'll explain it to you. You and Renfro are friends. And I think it's a real strange coincidence that Amy becomes Renfro's patient and then you hire her. At just the right time, too. She needs a job. Boom, you're right there.
Rick, please.
No, Amy, it's all right. I understand completely. Look, it's perfectly natural for you to suspect everybody. And yes, you're right. Renfro and I have been associates for a long time. But believe me, if he is the man who is behind this thing, I'm going to see that he is exposed and prosecuted, friendship or no friendship. I just called an assistant of mine, told him to try to track Renfro down so the wheels are in motion. Let me tell you, I think that my office is pretty well qualified to do this kind of investigative work, to get to the bottom of it, and if you give me a chance, I will.
I guess I'm not getting through to you. I don't want your help. Got it? And if I have to put it to you bluntly, I don't trust you.
Well, that's your prerogative, of course. But I must say that if there's one thing in this world that I can't stand, it is a man who jeopardizes the life of a child. I want to see Amy get her baby back, and I cannot believe that this all happened in full view of a hospital staff. You are dealing with a very well-organized group of people here, and they have got to be stopped.
And how would you go about it?
Well, it's hospital staff. I would first check into Renfro's possible connection. No, I'm not going to do anything. Not a thing. Unless I have the consent from both of you. But I'm prepared to go as far as you wish.
Rick, please. Mr. Lee has a flawless reputation. We'd be crazy to turn down his help. We need somebody. Please?
I guess I've been acting a little paranoid, haven't I? Okay, we accept your offer. And I apologize if I was rude.
Don't apologize. You were protecting Amy, and I am so grateful that she has somebody to do that. I'll get in touch as soon as I've learned anything.
All right. Mr. Lee, thank you very much. Bye.
I'm sorry.
I wish you'd been here when I got the telephone call. I was terrified.
I know. I can imagine.
Now, I want to leave the house without any help from anybody. I don't want it to look as if I can't navigate. How do I look? Do you think this dress is going to be over? Yes, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be home very, very soon, and everything is going to be just the way it always was. And soon everybody will forget all about this ugliness. Yes. Well, I'm ready now.
I'm making a picnic for my mommy to take with her.
That's very sweet of you, dear. What are you making?
She likes peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, it's really nice. Can I help you?
No, you leave me alone.
Well, quite a send-off. What are you doing here? Why aren't you in jail?
Sophia's out on bail, Gina. She's under my custody.
Oh, I see. You're going to protect her. And you're going to have me put away?
Hey, come on, Gina, it's all right. Look, come on. We only want to help you.
You do?
Yes, yeah. We're all going to come and see you. And we're not going to forget about you, all right?
Really?
Yeah, I promise.
All right.
Mommy!
Brandon, sweetheart. What are you doing?
We made you a picnic to take with you.
Come on, Brandon. Mommy has to say goodbye to everybody. You'll see her soon.
I hope you're satisfied. I hope you're both satisfied. You finally got me out of the way for a little while so you can have Cece and Brandon all to yourself. Look, I hate you. I hate you both, but I hate you more than anybody else.
Gina. Please, Gina.
Gina, please. I know that you've been a good mother, and he's very happy. And you should be very proud of what a wonderful job you've done with him.
You're a hypocrite. As soon as I'm gone, you're going to try and turn him against me. I know that.
That's not true.
Oh, it's true. You're going to put your arms around him, and you're going to hold him the way I should be holding him. And then you're going to take him away from me. Now, Cece, you listen to me. I want to make sure that you keep her far away from him, all right? Really far away from him.
Stop it. No one's going to change. We're all going to be waiting here until you're well enough again. I love you. I want you back with us.
You do love me, don't you? You love me. But if you really love me, you would make Santana and Sophia leave the room, because I'm not going anywhere until they leave the room.
Please.
Santana.
Well, there you go. Now, isn't that better?
Are you ready now, darling?
Yes, I'm ready. I love you. Well, I love you all. And I forgive you. I forgive you. Doctor, I think I'm ready to go. You know something? I've always trusted people. I've trusted friends and family. I even trust strangers. I'm not going to change now. Well, goodbye. I'll be back.
What do you want, man? I'm off duty.
I just want to tell you how much I appreciate all the work you're doing on this Capitol case. You're going to come out with a fine reputation on
You
this
know,
one.
Sophia Capitol did not commit murder. She didn't have the intent, and you're going to have a hard time proving she did, Tony.
Oh, wait a minute. I mean, whose side are you on this thing?
I'm on the side of what's right, man, and I'm starting to wonder if you are. I think your office should be used for better things than making sensational arrests and trying to railroad people into prison.
I think that's about enough, Inspector. You're skating on dangerously thin ice.
Well, then why don't we take off the skates, shall we? Find yourself somebody else. I resign.
Step one was to get the child away from Santana and give him to Gina and Stockman, where you could keep an eye on him.
You'd better not say any more, Mason.
Well, why not, Dad? Who here doesn't know you for what you are, a manipulator par excellence? After Stockman died, you courted and married Gina and adopted Brandon. Now that you don't need Gina anymore, she's whisked away to an institution.
Mason, that's a terrible thing to say.
When I don't feel left out, Sophia, I have some things to say about you, too.
I'm warning you, Mason. Now shut up.
You had me fooled at first, Sophia, but now I realize that what you wanted all along was to get Dad back and have your family around you again. And Gina was in the way of that.
I have never done anything to hurt you.
Well, I'll bet you helped Dad make up his mind, didn't you? The way you did years ago when he got rid of my mother.
That's a lie.
You don't have to defend me, Cece. Mason is hurt, and he's trying to hurt the rest of us. But you've forgotten one thing. I might go on trial for murder. Now, that really puts me out of the picture, doesn't it?
What happens in court isn't going to matter, Sophia. You've managed to rekindle Dad's feelings for you. You know, with all his many weaknesses, I think you may be his greatest.
I came by to pick up my things.
Why do you have to do that?
We don't belong together. It's not gonna work.
You know, I could have taken the easy way out and not turned your mother in, but it would have been wrong.
There's no point in talking about it.
Eden, why do we have to pay for what she did? She tempted fate. She picked up a gun, she pointed it at another human being, and she pulled the trigger. I don't care if you're just trying to scare the guy. She took another person's life.
I'll come back later to get the rest.
She has to face this, all right? She's been in agony for years because she forgot she did it. Look at how long she's running around like Dominic trying to incriminate other people. The woman needed help.
Come back later when you're not here. I don't ever want to see you again. Goodbye.